Hi, my name is Leanne Yendell and I'm a commercial solicitor with Cartridges Law. Now, this has been a really tough time. All of us have been learning as we go along, especially with the new normal, as they call it. But I wanted to take this opportunity to ask you how you've been getting on and whether actually we can learn from this experience in any way. So I want to give you a few questions to ask yourself just over the course of the next few weeks. These may help you just to plan for the future and to also get to know your company a little bit more, if I'm honest, just to kind of see whether there's anything that you can do better. So the first thing that I'd ask is, did your terms of business actually protect you? If the answer is no, then you should definitely consider a review of these terms of business just to ensure that there are no difficulties arising going forward. Learn from your mistakes, as they say. If the answer is yes, then I wouldn't say, okay, yeah, everything's fine, but instead ask yourself another question. Consider whether it was out of luck or circumstance that you were protected. So, by this, I mean, if, for example, you have a big customer who stayed with you throughout this difficult time, that's absolutely great. But what would you have done had they have not stuck with you? Could you have done anything better in terms of your contractual relationship, just to make sure that you would have been protected in that regard? Secondly, we'll look at suppliers. So, did you, for example, have a supplier that let you down? If so, your suppliers are the people who are supposed to keep you moving, who you're supposed to be able to rely on them. So, here are a few questions to ask yourself in this regard. Were they flexible to your needs? Were your stock levels maintained at all times, particularly when you needed things at short notice? Should any of your suppliers have been labelled critical suppliers, meaning that actually your contractual relationship is more in depth, you are more reliant on them, and that means that your contractual relationship should reflect that deep need? Were you also restricted from using new suppliers because of contractual clauses with other people? Has that prevented you from effectively doing business during this time if they have, for example, placed any anti-competition clauses within other contracts with people with whom you're dealing with? Thirdly, we would look at workforce management. So we've had a large number of employee matters headed our way. Did your contract allow you to do and make the necessary changes that you needed to at that time, such as, for example, place of work or time of work? We regularly come across people who seem to have a performer contract, and that's grand, but sometimes they're not always entirely tailored to the business's needs. And so, this is actually a really good time to review all of those contracts and just make sure that there's nothing else that you can add in there just to further protect the business. Were you also able to rapidly redeploy employees to essentially meet the emerging needs of the business? And finally, if you made cuts to the workforce, review how these cuts are going to be managed long term. So we've had a number of people, for example, come to us about the furlough scheme. Start thinking ahead after the scheme ends and after this kind of bubble period expires. Are you going to need to make redundancies? If so, you should start to be planning that now. Have you actually surprised yourself and managed to cope on a much smaller workforce because of last minute technology and software updates that you've needed to invest in? Start making these plans now, because what you don't want to do is further down the line have to make difficult decisions. And as a result, if you do these last minute, you may not follow the proper procedure in doing them, meaning this exposes you to liability through the employment tribunal. Has this also changed the way that you work? So you may have invested in third-party services to help streamline. This again works to your restructuring plan that I mentioned earlier. If a third party is now helping you, are you contractually obliged to stay with them for a long-term period? Do you want to stay with them for a longer period beyond the next few months? Have you actually discovered that they are maybe more efficient than having your own people in house? Secondly, on this point, have you got a newfound love for working from home, for example? You may feel that you now have an office or a workspace that is now redundant to your needs. So review your lease document just to, if of course it's a leasehold property, and just see whether there are any clauses that you may be able to rely on to break that lease to exit early from it. Also, have a think about compliance and regulation. Now, we all have policies and procedures that's handed to us at the very beginning of an employment contract, or sorry, a new employment opportunity. Now, did these policies actually serve the purpose for which they are intended? So, did your health and safety policy, for example, cover working from home, those people working from home? If they didn't, then you seriously need to think about updating those policies to actually reflect these needs. You may have also invested in some new software over the course of the last few weeks. Does your data protection policy and your privacy notices and things like this, did they reflect how you now use data? If I were you, I would undergo a bit of an audit of all of the in-house policies and procedures, see where they were working, see where they weren't working, and see what needs to be changed going forward. And finally, are there any long-term regulations that you need to now adhere to? And if that is the case, review all of your contracts and any relevant policies just to make sure that you are now reflecting these regulatory standards. So hopefully those are a few questions that may trigger your memory in terms of what to look forward to in the future of the business. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Hopefully this has been of help. But stay healthy, everyone. Stay well, and we'll get through this. Take care.